Frank Stuver. And I know that his words will put you on the right path, but just in case you're still feeling confused or baffled, over here we have a very lovely interpreter for the clueless. Good luck.
All right. The earliest string model, the bosonic string, incorporated only bosons, although this view evolved to the superstring theory, which posits that a connection, a supersymmetry, exists between bosons and fermions, which are fundamentally different types of particles. String theories also require the existence of several extra unobservable dimensions to the universe, in addition to the usual spatial dimensions like height, width, length, and also the dimension of time. M-theory, for example, requires that space-time have multiple dimensions. The theory has its origins in the dual resonance model, which described the strongly interacting hadrons as strings. Since that time, the term string theory has evolved to incorporate any of a group of related superstring theories. Indeed, the strings are no longer considered fundamental to the theory, which can also be formulated in terms of points or surfaces. How about if I say the solution is clear? Nicholas began courting Britain through Seymour. Nicholas insisted he no longer wished to expand Imperial Russia, but that he had an obligation to Christian communities in the Ottoman Empire. The Tsar next dispatched a diplomat, Prince Menshikov, on a special mission to the Ottoman Sublime Porte. I can say at any time, the solution is clear. Menshikov attempted to negotiate a new Synod, a formal convention with the power of international treaty, under which the Ottomans would allow Russia the same rights of intervention in the affairs of the Orthodox religion as recently allowed France in respect to Catholic churches and churchmen. Such a treaty would allow Russia to say the solution is clear. No, such a treaty would allow Russia to control the Orthodox Church's hierarchy in the Ottoman Empire. Act utilitarianism states that when faced with a choice, we must first consider the likely consequences of potential actions, and from that, choose to do what we believe will generate the most pleasure. The rule utilitarian, on the other hand, begins looking at potential rules of action. To determine whether a rule should be followed, he looks at what would happen if it were constantly followed. If adherence to the rule produces more happiness than otherwise, it is a rule that morally must be followed at all times. The solution is clear. The distinction between act and rule utilitarianism is therefore based on a difference about the proper object of consequentialist calculation. Kimberly Noel Kim Kardashian. She is an American celebutante, socialite, model, actress, and television personality. Kim Kardashian is of Armenian, Scottish, and Dutch descent, the daughter of attorney Robert Kardashian and Kris Jenner, née Houghton. Kim Kardashian's siblings are Kourtney, Khloe, and Robert. She has stepbrothers Burton, Brandon, and reality TV star Brody Jenner. Stepsister Casey Jenner, and half-sisters Kendall and Kylie Jenner. During high school, Kim Kardashian worked at her father's music marketing firm, Movie Tunes. The solution is so freaking clear. The process of quilting uses a needle and thread to join layers of material together to make a quilt. There's the top fabric or quilt top, batting or insulating material, and backlit material. The quilter's hand or sewing machine passes the needle and thread through all layers and then brings the needle back up. The process is repeated across the entire piece where quilting is wanted. Once again, the solution is clear. A rocking, straight, or running stitch is commonly used, and these stitches can be purely functional or decorative and elaborate. And escrow is also known as judicial context. So-called escrow funds are commonly used to distribute money from a cash settlement in a class action or environmental enforcement action. This way, the defendant is not responsible for distribution of judgment monies to individual plaintiffs or the court-determined use, such as environmental remediation or mitigation. The solution is so freaking clear. The defendant pays the total amount of the judgment or settlement to the court-administered or appointed escrow fund, and the fund distributes the money, often reimbursing its expenses from the judgment funds. We've had a delightful day. We thank you for tuning into this clue. If you thought the answer was 35, you're terribly wrong. And me telling you that the answer is not 35 is not a clue. There was another answer to this clue, which I'm sure you'll learn soon. But we have done it, and we're done. Thank you.